the UAB Blazers, and they made one of the weirder coaching hires of the offseason, but this could end up being a very good move, right? Deion Sanders, there's a lot of people that praise that move. Look, I mean, Trent Dilfer has been huge in recruiting circles. Deion Sanders wasn't even that involved with the high school stuff, at least not to the level that Dilfer has been. Maybe this is big for UAB. Right now, though, he has zero coaching experience in college. He's only coached in high school, but he is an NFL guy. We'll see, I guess. I don't know. Let's look at the numbers. 8.37 and 3.63 last year for their post-game win expectancy, and they went 6-6 in the regular season and had to go play in the Bahamas Bowl. Now, I say had to because the expectations were higher for UAB, but alas, now Brian Vincent is gone. He was the interim head coach last year after Bill Clark retired the July before unexpectedly, and the quarterback's gone, Dylan Hopkins. Both of them went over to New Mexico. So it's just the way it goes. Dwayne McBride, the leading rusher in the country, is gone. That's an issue. They are number 128 in the country in adjusted returning production, number 119 on offense, 131 on defense. They lost a bunch of dudes, but they did bring in some guys. So there's, I think they've got some talent here. Obviously, you look at roster strength, they're number 8 in the conference in the AAC, number 11 on offense, number 11 on defense. But when you look at overall roster strength, obviously those numbers add up differently. I know some of you are questioning these, but is what it is. Let's start off on offense. Offense was great last year. Can't count on those anymore. Jacob Zeno is going to be the dude at quarterback. He was 0-2 as a starter last year, 0-3 in games where he played the majority of the time. But I don't think that was necessarily his fault because he had 721 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, he played pretty well. Landry Liddy comes in from Louisiana Tech as the backup. The wide receiver core looks loaded. They look like they got dudes. Jermaine Brown Jr., the running back, he had 900-plus yards, and that was behind McBride, who was the leading rusher. This offensive line was serious last year. However, they lose all 5 starters on offensive line. It's just bad. They also brought in, from the JUCO ranks, Isaiah Jacob, who is Josh Jacobs' brother. So, something to pay attention to. On defense, on offense, the offensive line is counting on transfers this year. That's always a crapshoot. We'll see what happens with that. But they did lose all 5 of their starters from the offensive line from last year. As far as defense goes, the defensive end, Drew Tuazama, he is a stud. And there's playmakers all along the defensive line here. The linebacker room looks okay. They got a lot of talent. You got Bratton. You got a Marshall transfer, James Smyer. But you got not many snaps. So these dudes look good, but we haven't gotten to see them like in real action yet. Secondary has some experience, but not a ton. They may count on transfers and freshmen in the secondary. The defense was okay against the pass last year, number 57 in passing success allowed. But they were terrible against the run. Number 124 in PPA per rush in 2022. So that's interesting. Just rough. I'll say that. All right. Their luck rank was number 118 last year. Obviously, when your post-game win expectancy has you winning 8.37 games and you go 6-6, obviously something had to go wrong along the way, but it is what it is. Their win total this year sits at 5. To go over is plus 115. To go under is minus 145. They're projected favorites in 6 games. So, let's talk about keys to the season. Dilfer can recruit, but he was a different kind of hire here. Normally, Power 5 teams, schools, are the ones that bring in guys that can recruit, not AAC schools or Conference USA schools, right? This roster does have exciting pieces. They're middle of the pack, but the schedule is just brutal. Tulane, UTSA, Memphis, and FAU. Now, they do have 3 former CUSA teams on the schedule, but gracious. I mean, you get North Texas at home, You get Florida Atlantic at home, and you get at UTSA. This is not great. Then they got to go to Georgia Southern. They got to play Louisiana at home. Like this ain't great. This ain't easy by any stretch. Can Dilfer clean up the penalty issues? Obviously, number 96 in the country in penalties per game last year. Why couldn't this team win when Zeno was in at quarterback last year? That's a big question. Very little returning production. So, I mean, you got to hope that everyone can gel immediately and that they all can stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. My record prediction for this team this year is 4-8. I think that the ceiling, as far as wins go for this team, is 6-6. It's a brutal schedule. Brutal. I think the floor for the team is probably 3-9. I like Dilfer. I like him with the media. I wonder if he is cut out for this kind of a coaching job. So we'll have to see. I like UAB. I was always pulling for Bill Clark. I'm going to start out pulling for Trent Dilfer, but who knows? Who knows? We shall see. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter @GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.